Hello guys, today we'll make a server, backend server on Node.js. This will be the series on backend developer. And if you like this video, please share and like. So let's start. So to start, the first step is installation. So to run the server, we use JavaScript and Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment. So we will just download it. You can download either one of them. This is a simple exe file and you can just run it and install it. Okay, so once this is installed, you can test it that it has been installed by, you can do Windows R to open this panel and do cmd, write cmd, and here you can write node dash dash version. So it is saying version this, that means it is installed in my laptop. Okay, so this was the first step. We'll create another folder. So you can create a folder like this also, like a new folder, but I'll just use cmd. You can to go to a folder's location like this me slash project, this me slash project, you can write here cmd. Okay, so it will open cmd in that location. So here I'm gonna write make directory mkdir and the folder name, so I will name it first server. Okay, so we'll move into the folder cd first server. Now the typo. Now since we have installed Node provides us npm. Npm is Node Package Manager. So we will write npm init to create our first project. So we can also write down these commands. To start, you have to write npm init. Okay. Now we are just pressing enter to choose this as default. First server version, this description. You can enter something, but I'm like author, I can write Anant. Okay. And so is this okay? Yes. Okay, so I'll move it to my folder, the first server, and it has created a file package.json for me. Okay, so I'll see the file. I'll write code dot, so it will open it in my Visual Studio Code. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, make sure you have some kind of code editor like Sublime or something else. I use Visual Studio Code. Yeah, so in the package.json, it has all the files that we mentioned. Okay, so now we'll create a new file and write index.js. Okay, and in index.js, let's say I write console log a. Okay, so to run this index.file, I have to write here node index. So it has message here. Okay, now we have, so this is basically running JavaScript index.js. Now we have to create a server. To create a server, we are using express. So we have to install express, and how can we install it? By using npm only. So I will write npm. Now you can write install or you can write I only. Okay, so npm install, and then you have to write save. So you can write dash dash save, or for shortcut it is capital S with one dash. So npm install save express. Also I will install some other libraries also. I'll explain it in just a minute. Like body parser. Yeah, so for now these are the only two. So once installed, you can, when you go into package.json, you will see those files here, and there is also node modules folder in which this is installed. So if you delete this node modules folder, so this is a large file. Okay, so with all the packages we installed, so if we delete this, so the project will not run, but you have still this package.json file in which it is written, and you can install all these dependencies by just running npm install. So it will download all the dependencies mentioned in the package.json file. Okay, so this was just a brief overview. Now we will write the code to make a server. Okay, so we have node modules again, and we'll create a new. So we have index.js. First, we will have to like import or require the dependency that installed const express equal to require. express. Now these are some commands that you have to remember. Const app equal to express, and you can write app.listen, and you can mention the port number. Okay, so port number, let's say we are running at 5000, and then we are writing a function after, and then this is a function that will run after this is done. Okay, so console log server is running at port, and you can write something like this. Okay, so let's see, we'll run node index. So server is running at port 5000. So what does it mean? Like you can, if you go to now localhost 5000, you will see that cannot get. Okay, because we haven't written any code for this. Okay, but our server has created. So with these 3 lines of code, we have created a server. Now it is not doing anything, but we have set up the server. So this was very easy. Now just basics. This is just a one line of command. Let's say you want to do something more here. Usually you does not, but let's say you want to. So you write a function here, and you can either call the function here and declare it somewhere else, but you can also just write something inside this function. Now this is the old method. Now the new es something, so es 2000. So you can write it like this. So this is the same as the one which I write like this. Uh, Function. So this is some JavaScript text. So you can write either like this function and the curly brackets, or just this. So everything will work exactly the same. I know right now our server is not doing anything, but when you host the server to like live websites and that, so this doesn't work like this. So you have to write port equal to process dot environment dot port or 5000. Okay, and you don't have to put semicolon. You can, but it is not necessary. And you can, instead of 5000, you can write port. So while hosting, you won't face any problem. Now when we were doing this, it was just giving us cannot get this. Okay, so let's see what does this mean. So if I do app.get, so there are a few of these, like you can do get, post, delete. So there are some things we'll see in a meanwhile. First we'll do get slash, and slash is just uh, this is slash. Okay, so you can do slash test or something else. Okay, so we'll see. So in slash, there, when we create a server, there is a request and a response. So we are using this method. Okay, in the function we are passing these parameters, request and response. So you can also write function request response and remove this. Okay, so here you can do response.send hey server 5000. Okay, and let's say we create another get route, and here we write test, and instead of this I'll just use function. Okay, so you know both of the ways. So function request from a response, and here I'm writing testing. Okay, so let's see. So whenever you make changes, you have to do control C in the command line and do node index again. Okay, then if I do this, it is saying hey server 5000, and if I do slash test, it is saying testing. So you get the feeling like how does it work. Now I can tell you many things here, but that wouldn't be fun. And what would be fun is directly connecting it to database and then learning. Okay, so I'll connect it to a database. So there are two, basically SQL, NoSQL. So we'll do NoSQL, that is mongoose. So for that we have to first come here and do Control C and install npm install save mongoose. Okay, so it is installing, and so we have const mongoose equal to require mongoose, and we are doing mongoose.connect and a URL. Now this URL, I'll tell you in just a second, and these are just the values that you have to provide. Even if you don't provide, it will give you a warning something. Okay, and then there is once this is connected, we will do console log that MongoDB is connected, and if there is any error, so we will console log that error. Now you can get this URL from 2 3 places. I'll tell you just now. So there is MongoDB Compass. So you can either install this and you can get it from here, or there is a MongoDB Atlas. So you can just, so this is local Compass. So this will run on your computer only, but this is the cloud. Okay. So I'll advise you to go with MongoDB Atlas, and you can create a new project there and you will get your own URL, and this is the username and password that you will have to create. Okay. So you can also use this one, but don't put any large databases on this. So we have connected a database. So okay, so we'll run again node index, and here it is saying MongoDB connected and server running at port 5000. Okay, so this is what we wanted. Now instead of saying hey server, we can get data from the database and get the database, or we can save the database to our database. Okay, now right now we are doing this like app.get/test. Okay, but when it is a big application, so there is something like test slash this slash this, something like this, or like test slash get test slash save. Okay, you have to test slash edit. Okay, so if we write in one file only, it will get too much, it will be difficult to edit and understand later. And okay, so what we do is we create routes. So we'll create a new folder, routes. Okay, and in this routes we'll create a new file. Let's say we are dealing with news. Okay, news.js. So here we need 2 lines of code that is important. Const express equal to require express, and router is express of router. Here we used uh, here we just call the constructor, but here we are mentioning that call the router. Now in index.js we were doing app.get, this app.get, app.post, but here we will do router.get. Okay, slash get request response, and something we'll do here. Okay, now this news.js will not work automatically. We have to import it here. So I'll remove this part for now, but you keep in mind like how this works. This is the basics, but we will try to use that news.js. So const um, news is equal to, so we have imported that news, and what we will do is app.use slash news, and we'll write news. So what will this do is, let's say I do response.send hey. Okay, So what this do is I have mentioned this slash news here. Let's say I write news one. Okay, so what will happen? And this is and you have to write module. This is a module dot exports equal to router. So you don't have so you have to write this. And now we'll start the server again. And now let's test news one slash get, and it is saying hey. So this means is what we are writing in here slash get. This will only work with slash news in front. Okay. So this way our code is much cleaner and you can edit and read code very easily. And before working with a database, we have to create models. Like in SQL, we have tables. Okay. So we have to create a model. So we'll create a new folder for that models. And in this we will have all the models. And here we are writing news.js. Okay. So in news.js, what we are doing is we are taking mongoose and we are taking schema. So this is also known as schema. So we are creating a schema. So name of schema we have written use schema and we have to write schema here and all the properties we want to store like headline and it should be of type string and we can also mention that it should be required. If it is not coming then it will give an error or will not do the required tasks. Okay. So right now we are not doing this, but this is generally that you should do. Okay, required true and something like this. Also for date we are using default date.now. Okay, so whenever the request is coming, that date. Okay, and this is the syntax module export news and model. So this news is when our database will go to the final database. I'll show you. So that collection name will be news. So you will not be able to access MLab as it has closed now. It is not for new users, but I have this and we have this. So here it is this news and okay. So this schema we will be working with schema in this routes folder only. So we will do const news require models dash news. Okay. So we have created a model. So this is the same file. I have copied the code in the router news.js. Okay. So we'll see and understand. So first we are saving the news and whenever we send the data, we are sending some data to the server. So we do post because in post there are some security and in get there is less security. So we use whenever we are just remember this whenever we are sending data. So we use post. Okay. So we are creating a new object and this is the news we have to mention. This is very important. New news and all the so the data is coming from the front end which we'll try to understand where this data is coming from in a minute, but we are using request.body and .name. There are also another other ways to get the data like request.params. Now, what is the difference between body and params? I'll tell. Like body is when in front end you fill a form like a Google form or something else. So that is request.body. But params request.body dot let's say ID. Okay. So this params is like sometimes there is like linkedin.com /in /anant016. So this anant016 whenever we are taking something from the URL then we use params. Okay. So when we have created an object we have the data. Now we want to save that data to our this mongoose this. So to save the data, we have this function .save provided by mongoose. So we are not importing mongoose here, but it is not necessary. So we are just doing So we are just doing new news dot save, and when it is saved, it will give me the saved news like this only, but it will give me in JSON. So we are using JSON. JSON is like this only, this part. So this type of structure is called JSON. Like you have arrays, you have other data structure. This is JSON like structure. Okay. So or if they found any error, we will give the error. And to get all news, we are using the find function. So on this only. So here we used it here. Here we are using it news.find, and when we get the news, we will return all the news, and if we don't, we'll see like this. And this is the params thing that I was telling. So let's say we want to get only one news. So we can so let's say we want to get only one news. So we are taking the ID like this and request.params.id, and in the find we are using find by ID, and we are passing that ID. Also, let's say you want to find by, let's say, name or any other parameter. So you use find function only and write like this. Let's say we have this headline. So let's say we want to find by exact headline. So we can write headline, and taking the data from this like request.params.headline or request.body.headline, we'll pass that headline here. So like this, like I'll show. You can do var headline equal to request.body.headline. So this will also work. So we have seen save, find, find by ID, like this that I was telling. So you can write department and this. So this name can be same also. That is not an issue. Okay. So since we are sending data here, we are using post. Since we are not sending any data here, we are just fetching the data. So we are using get. Okay. And let's say I want to edit something that is already there. I don't want to create another. Let's say there is a user, and I want to edit that user. I don't want to create a new user. Okay. So you can do find one and update. So here we pass that ID that we want to update, and here we set new data. So we are sending the new data, and like this. Now for delete, we are using delete. We can also use post here. Okay. And we are finding by ID, and if we get a data, we are removing that data. Okay. So, and let's say you want to delete multiple data. Here we are only removing one data at a time, but if we want to delete many, so we use delete many. So this was all like theory. Let's test the code we have written so far. So we don't have a front end like website for now, so we will test on Postman. This is what backend developers do use all the time. Now before testing, I'll tell you one more thing. Like whenever we are making changes, we are closing the server and starting again. If you don't want to do this, like start again and again, if you want it to do automatically, you can install npm install globally. So we will be doing globally nodemon. Once installed, you can write nodemon and that file name index. And what this do is, let's say I changed something in the file and I did save, so it runs automatically again. Okay. So you won't have to start again and again. Let's just see the code once again. So we are using app.use news, and in news we have a get all in which we are finding and then giving the data. Okay, response.json. You can also write send, but if we do send, okay. Now let's see this save. So when we are using, so when we are doing save, this is post. Okay, because we are sending data. So do post here and write save, and in body, because we were doing request.body, and we will be using this from URL encoded. So here we are sending, so this id underscore id is generated automatically for the uniqueness, and we will be writing description a department id. Now because we were not doing required, so even if we don't send the data image URL, then also it will not give us any error. Yeah, so it is giving us this error that cannot read property the subject of undefined. Okay, so this is very common error, and what is this is he's not able to read this body. So for this we have to include body parser. So whenever we want to read data from any forms like data, so we have to use body parser. So we installed body parser in the beginning, but we are not using it. So let's include it in our index.js only. So we'll do, so just const body parser to require body parser, and there is two middlewares that we have to include. So you can just copy this, and these are the middlewares. Okay, so body parser is whenever we are using forms in the front end. So to read those forms, to read the body, we have to include this. And if you want to know more about body parser, you can just Google. Okay, and now it will work. So now it would work. Yeah, so it has saved this data. Now when we do get all, so let's do news slash get all and get. So we are getting those two data. Okay, so we have saved, we have added. Similarly, you can uh, get by id. You can mention the id and do the get, and it will give you that particular id. And you can select post, and you have to write this in the URL, and you in the body you have to mention a department. So that department name should be this only. Okay, let's do this one, get by department. Okay, so we are doing get by department, and here we have to write, so this is also post because we are sending data. And in department, we let's say we send CSE first. So it is giving me the CSE one only. And if I do IT, so it is giving me the IT one. Okay, so we have seen get by department. Similarly, you can edit by giving the ID and these data. And for deleting, you can also give ID and set delete. And if you want to me to show, I'll just show. So here we will select delete and news slash, let's say I pass this ID. So it is delete slash ID. So I'll do news slash delete slash ID, and now it would work. So it is saying success true because we are saying here to send, if it is done then success true, if there is any error then success false. Okay, you can also see that now this ID data is deleted, and if we do new slash get all, then it is only giving me this one and not that one because that is deleted. Okay, so these are the basic CRUD operations. You can create, read, and you can update. So now we'll quickly host the application on Heroku. So we have to write in the package.json a script start node index, and make sure in your index.js, and while you are mentioning the port, make sure you mention your port something like this process.n.port. Okay, and I think this is it. So you can download and install Heroku on your own. Create a new app, and you can write first server it is not available, 01 is available. Okay, so in your command line say git init, and then git. So you would, so you also have to install git. You can install it yourself, and also make a file dot git ignore and write slash node underscore modules, because we don't need to send these files. Okay, since we are sending package.json and it has all the mentioned packages, we don't have to send the packages. Okay, and then you can do git add all, and then git commit in any message then, and after this you have to write this. So this will only work if you have Heroku installed on your computer. You can download Heroku download. You can download from here 64-bit installer, 32-bit installer, and similarly you can also download Git. Okay, so you can download Git from here. After this you can write Heroku git remote AFS server, and then git push Heroku master. So this will take some time. Let it be. Let's test it. So our server is hosted, and now you can use it from anywhere. You can also use it on your mobiles. Okay, so this was it. Thank you. So you can see this code. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you have any doubts, ask in the comment, and I'll try to answer all of them. And this was today's session. We created an server. We used body parser for the thing I told. Database connection we did, and we created a route. And in this route, we are doing all the CRUD operations. And for connecting with database, we have created this model news. So this was the basic structure, and I hope you liked it.